There is a specific part inside your GM 6.2-liter V8 that is designed to collapse. It will happen somewhere between 50,000 and 100,000 miles, though many owners of the newer generation trucks are reporting failures at far lower mileage. When it goes, the repair bill will land between $8,000 and $18,000. On a truck you financed for $80,000 over 7 years, that number does not just hurt your wallet, it totals your investment. And the part that destroys it costs less than $2 to manufacture. We have been watching this failure pattern build since 2014. The complaints filed with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration number in the thousands. The class action lawsuits have been settled. The extended warranties have been issued, and the engines are still failing. If you own a Silverado, a Sierra, a Tahoe, a Suburban, a Yukon, or an Escalade with the 6.2-liter EcoTec3 under the hood, this video is the mechanic's briefing you never got at the dealership. Let us start with the business model that made this possible. General Motors builds approximately 1,000 of these 6.2-liter engines per day at the Tonawanda Engine Plant in Buffalo, New York. The lifters that detonate inside them are manufactured by a Delphi supplier in Mexico. The solenoids that trigger the failure are built by Bosch. The engine carries the badge of American manufacturing. But the system that kills it was sourced offshore and installed to satisfy a federal fuel economy mandate that saves the average driver 2 miles per gallon on the highway. They call this technology active fuel management. The L86 variant used it from 2014 to 2018. The L87 introduced dynamic fuel management in 2019, which expanded cylinder deactivation even further. They call it an advanced powertrain management system. We call it a valve train designed to wear itself to death before your loan is paid off. Here is why it exists. The Energy Independence and Security Act, signed into law in 2007, required a 35 mile per gallon corporate average fuel economy fleet average. The 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8, you're running all 8 cylinders, delivered 14 miles per gallon in city driving. That number threatened compliance. The engineering solution was cylinder deactivation. By collapsing specific lifters and shutting down 4 cylinders at highway cruise, GM could post 15 miles per gallon and satisfy the regulators. The fuel savings to the driver amount to 5 to 7%. The cost savings to GM during testing and certification amounted to roughly 50 cents to $1 per engine unit. 50 cents per unit. That is the number underneath a $15,000 repair bill. The previous generation 6.2-liter L92, used before 2014, had no cylinder deactivation. It had a fixed lobe camshaft, conventional oil galleries 3/8 of an inch larger than the current design, and standard hydraulic roller lifters that required no electronic intervention to function. That engine was expected to reach 200,000 miles without major valve train work. Parts were available at every auto parts store in the country. Diagnosis required nothing more than a quality scanner and a mechanic with experience. Then 2014 arrived, and everything changed under the valve covers. Here is exactly what they built into the current engine, and exactly how it destroys itself. The L86 and L87 use hydraulic roller lifters with a collapsing plunger mechanism. General Motors, part number 12, 680850. These are not conventional lifters. They contain a steel plunger coated in PTFE material and an internal mechanism that allows the lifter to physically collapse when an oil pressure-driven solenoid signals cylinder deactivation. The engine rides on 4 cylinders at highway speed. The collapsed lifters stop actuating their valves entirely. The problem is oil pressure. At idle, the 6.2-liter EcoTec3 runs below 20 pounds per square inch of oil pressure. The collapsible lifter plunger requires consistent pressure to maintain its extended position and keep the roller in contact with the camshaft lobe. When pressure drops, the plunger sticks in the collapsed position. The roller no longer follows the cam lobe correctly. It begins skipping across the lobe's surface. The first symptom is a tick, a rapid mechanical tick-tick-tick at cold startup. Now, most owners hear it and dismiss it. Their dealer tells them it is a cold start characteristic of the engine. Some get told to switch to 0W40 oil. The ticking continues. The damage is already progressing. What is happening inside that engine while the tick is dismissed is a sequence of cascading destruction. The roller on the collapsing lifter skips across the camshaft lobe, scoring the lobe surface. Metal debris from the camshaft scoring enters the oil circuit. The bent and damaged push rods create misfire events. Diagnostic codes P0300 through P0308 for cylinder misfires appear alongside P0016 for camshaft to crankshaft correlation failure. The debris from the scored camshaft and damaged lifters migrates through the oil passages and clogs the galleries that were already reduced in diameter to accommodate the deactivation solenoids. The cylinder that fails first is number 7. Rear passenger side. Every technician who has worked on these engines knows the number 7 lifter bore. It is the most common first point of failure in the L86 and L87. After number 7, cylinders 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 follow the same failure sequence. The engine does not fail cleanly. It fails progressively, and the debris it generates ensures that a lifter replacement alone rarely solves the problem. Peak failures in this engine family are documented in the 2019 through 2021 model years. But these trucks are now hitting 60,000 to 100,000 miles. That is precisely where this failure wave breaks. The repair estimate for a lifter and camshaft swap on the 6.2-liter runs between $8,000 and $12,000 in most independent shops. The teardown requires 25 to 40 labor hours at $150 per hour. Parts for the cam and lifter kit alone run approximately $1,200. If the damage has progressed to the connecting rods or crankshaft, which a recall covering 721,000 vehicles documents as a real outcome, full engine replacement pushes the total to $15,000 to $18,000. On a truck purchased for $50,000 to $80,000, that repair often equals or exceeds the vehicle's remaining market value at the time of failure. There is a settlement. The primary AFM and DFM lifter class action, Harrison versus General Motors, case number 221CV12927, was filed in the Eastern District of Michigan in 2021. General Motors settled in 2024. The settlement extended powertrain warranty coverage to 10 years or 150,000 miles for affected vehicles. Before that settlement, GM was rejecting a substantial share of warranty claims outright. The settlement offered partial relief. It did not mandate a design change. The engines continued rolling off the line at Tonawanda with the same lifter architecture. NHTSA opened a formal investigation into this failure pattern. That investigation proceeded without issuing a lifter-specific recall. 0 recalls for the AFM and DFM lifter failure exist as of early 2024. 28 separate recalls cover the 6.2-liter vehicle lineup from 2014 through 2025. 9 involve transmissions. 5 involve airbags. The lifter system that has generated thousands of NHTSA complaints has not triggered a single federal recall for the valve train defect. Thousands of complaints, 0 lifter recalls. Do the math on that equation. But the engineering failure is only half of what traps you. Wait until you try to fix this yourself. The GMMDI2 scan tool required to test the AFM solenoids in the deactivation system costs approximately $1,900 at retail. IRID is a proprietary diagnostic interface. Your personal code reader will pull the misfire codes. It will not communicate with the deactivation solenoids, reset the AFM system, or perform the post-repair ECM calibration that the engine requires after a lifter replacement. Only a dealer or a shop paying $3,000 per year for GM's SPS programming subscription access can complete that calibration. If you want to delete the AFM system entirely, which is the correct long-term mechanical solution, you need an aftermarket tuner. Those devices run $100 to $300. They work, but using one voids your factory warranty. In Massachusetts and Maine, state law permits AFM deletion. In most of the country, it exists in a legal gray zone under federal emissions law. General Motors has formally opposed the right of owners to use these tuners. They are not selling you a truck with a fixable flaw. They are selling you a system designed to be serviced exclusively through their network, at their rates, with their proprietary tools. This is not right to repair policy. This is a designed dependency. And the depreciation math makes the trap worse. A new Silverado High Country with the 6.2 loses 25% of its value in year one. That is $15,000 to $20,000 gone before the first oil change. By year 5, 60% of the purchase price has evaporated. If the engine fails at 80,000 miles, the repair cost frequently equals the truck's remaining book value. You are not repairing a truck at that point. You are deciding whether to throw good money after bad on a depreciating platform with a known recurring failure that the manufacturer refused to recall and refused to redesign. GM's internal revenue analysis benefits from this cycle. A 6.2-liter engine failure at the 60 to 100,000 mile mark pushes the owner back into the showroom. The replacement purchase generates $20,000 or more in additional revenue. The 2019 through 2021 fleet is delivering that failure wave right now. If you are watching this in 2025 or 2026, that wave is breaking over your generation of truck. So does that mean you walk away from a full-size American V8 truck entirely? No. It means you stop buying the failure and start buying the engine. The pre-2014 GM 6.2-liter L92 is a different machine. No active fuel management, no collapsing lifters, no solenoid oil galleries, conventional fixed-lobe camshaft, standard hydraulic roller lifters that do not require electronic management to function, all aluminum construction with aluminum heads, documented 200,000-mile lifespan under normal use, parts available at every major auto parts retailer, diagnosis with a standard scanner and mechanical knowledge, no proprietary tool requirement for routine service. These engines exist in used Silverados and Sierras from 2007 through 2013. Purchase prices in the $15,000 to $25,000 range. No DEF tank, no cylinder deactivation, no software subscription. Just a naturally aspirated V8 that does what you ask it to do and keeps doing it. If you need a diesel, the 6.6-liter Duramax L5P in post-2017, Silverado HD and Sierra HD applications offer significantly better documented reliability than the 6.2-liter light-duty gasoline platform, though the DEF system introduces its own maintenance obligations. Know what you are buying before you buy it. When you are evaluating a used pre-2014 L92 truck, pull the oil filler cap and look for sludge. Check the oil for a milky appearance indicating coolant contamination. Pull the transmission dipstick. The 6-speed 6L80 automatic in that generation is a serviceable transmission with a dipstick. If there is no dipstick, walk away from that truck. Let's listen for valve train noise at cold start. A quiet cold start on an L92 is a healthy L92. A tick on a 6.2 EcoTec3 is an $8,000 countdown. The only math that matters in this comparison is total cost of ownership. A new 6.2-liter L87 with a 10-year total cost calculation, including the documented repair exposure, lands at $65,000 or more. A pre-2014 L92 truck purchased used for $20,000, maintained correctly, lands at $30,000 to $35,000 over the same period. You are paying $30,000 more to own the truck with the known defect. $30,000 for 2 miles per gallon. Here is the mechanic's final ruling on the GM 6.2-liter EcoTec3. The L86 and L87 are engineering compromises dressed up as performance engines. The cylinder deactivation system that was installed to meet a federal fuel economy mandate has generated thousands of federal complaints, a class action settlement, a manufacturing defect recall covering 721,000 vehicles, and repair bills that regularly exceed $15,000 on trucks worth less than that at the time of failure. 0 lifter recalls, A substantial share of warranty claims denied before the lawsuit forced GM's hand. A proprietary diagnostic ecosystem designed to keep independent mechanics out of the repair process. And an engine that replaced a 200,000-mile naturally aspirated machine with a collapsing lifter time bomb, tuned to fail precisely when your powertrain warranty expires. Stop financing the failure. Buy the engine that was built to last. Own the machine. Do not let the machine own you.